Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. It is the Victory Monday celebration. You could tell by the sound of my voice, I'm losing it because of all the screaming and yelling and celebrating we did after that game yesterday. But today it is Victory Monday. Welcome to the show. I am Dave Grendzynski. This is Brown's Latest. You can call me Grizzer. And this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news and tidbits tied to our favorite team in the NFL. That is, of course, the Cleveland Browns, the most talked about team in the NFL. Today, thank you to everybody who has liked our previous episodes, who has subscribed to the channel. When we get to 11,000 subscribers, I will change the fit. I changed the fit for just one show when we cross a threshold on subscribers. 11,000, I'm figuring it out. 12,000, Shador jersey, 100%. Also, thank you to everybody who's become a member of the Browns Latest Dog Pound, and those of you who get your comments in the viewer comment section, because you guys are as much a part of the show. Actually, you're more a part of the show than I am. Coming up on this Victory Monday edition of the Browns' latest YouTube channel podcast special is this. Shador locks down the starting job and is our franchise quarterback all in one day, and he made history along the way. One of the biggest takeaways heading into this week's game against San Francisco has to do what didn't happen with Shador. We'll also take a look at the biggest storylines we'll be watching after we watch the 49ers tonight. And then down in the viewer comments, playoffs? Really? But first things first, Shador making history as he locks down the starting quarterback job here in Cleveland. First Browns rookie quarterback to win his first start since 1995, and it was Eric Zeier who was that. They mentioned that on the broadcast. October 30th, 1995, beat Cincinnati 29-26. Eric Zeier, remember the former Georgia Bulldog. He was down there quarterback in Georgia when I was down there in Augusta, working in Augusta, Georgia. From ESPN Research, the Browns averaged 13.5 yards per catch after the catch per reception. That's yak. They call that yak in the business. We had 13.5 yards of yak. 13.5 yak. Guess what? That is the second highest by any team in a game in the last 10 seasons and the highest in a win. What was the only difference on offense yesterday? Oh, yeah, that's right, Shador. How about this one? Second best pass block win rate for the Browns in a game this season. He was sacked just once. And then in real time, I mean, you could see him handling we talked about it yesterday on the Instant Reaction show. Just he looked like a 10-year veteran out there for sure. I mean, geez, he looked every bit the part of an NFL franchise quarterback. Did you see this? Did you see after the Cavs spanked the Clippers, that video of Donovan Mitchell? And he's like, let him know. He was fist bumping somebody. And then he said, oh, yeah, and the Browns won too. And he put up the wrist. Did you see the big hug? Andrew Berry came out of hiding. This confirmed everything I've been saying for the last month. Shador's Berry's guy. Gabriel Stefanski's guy. And that is the rift. Berry's the general manager. He could probably talk to the owner and say, we need to get rid of this guy because he doesn't know what he's doing. Big hug. Andrew Berry, Shador Sanders. It was Berry who orchestrated the trade up to get him. Remember, traded 2 picks to get ahead of Philly because he heard Philly was going to get him. But he said, no, they're not, because I want him. And thank God he did that, because he has solved our quarterback problemo. We've had a problem for a while with quarterbacks here. I don't know if you knew that. Wait a minute. The second best pass block win rate. What was different about the offense yesterday? Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting. Shador quarterback. Listen. And then for Stefanski, well, it gave him all the day off day. I mean, let's just watch it film. They're like, that's annoying. Like, why are you taking the, like, it's one win, Stefanski. What are you doing? Like, you got to act like you've been there before. It should be business as usual. I didn't like the way he kind of glossed over Shador in the post-game press conference. That wasn't that. I mean, you got to give the guy his flowers, man. I mean, for the love of God. How about let's mention the fact that he had 3 freaking days to get ready for this game. It's going to turn into a meltdown Monday. You get me started talking about this is not a meltdown Monday. This is a victory Monday. But when I start talking about Stefanski, I go into meltdown mode. Didn't like that. This is the easiest decision Kevin Stefanski will ever have to make as coach of the Cleveland Browns. There is no decision. You don't think that on that plane ride home, Barry and Haslam and everybody, they didn't even have to say a word. They got on that plane. They just looked at him and were like, starter? This would instantly get him fired if he names Dylan Gabriel the quarterback. 100%. And then if he does that, everybody's going to go downtown and pull the stadium out of the ground and throw it into Lake Erie. The lake level will rise because there'll be a stadium in there. This is Shador's team. It's Shador's job, Shador's team, Shador's city. No going back to Dylan Gabriel. It's over. It is over, Dylan Gabriel. Here's the clipboard. Have some fun. You can learn from the sideline. The other thing that was so impressive about Shador, what he said after the game. Did you see this? That quiet confidence. He says, a lot of people want to see me fail. And then he paused and he was like, it ain't going to happen. This is when he reminds me so much of Dion. It's that quiet confidence that he has. And that's one of my biggest takeaways from all of this. Is not just the confidence that he exudes, but also the moment is never too big for him, man. And that is something like to get a player, especially a young player just coming into a league like this that's what I teased at the top. It's he did not let the moment get too big for him in that game. Like he was in control the whole time, kept his emotions like looked like a 10-year veteran. I will keep saying it. I will keep saying it over and over and over because he looked like a 10-year veteran. Luke McCown said that he did what he had to do, managed the game by not taking deep sacks, not trying to do too much. Yes, he got fooled once early, but that no more makes him a bad player than a deep throw. You know, I mean, that's it. Haters, stay out of this because it's not going to work. It's just you got nothing. You got nothing, haters. You got nothing. Speed of the game, not a factor. That's another thing. Like he just handled it all. And we talked about it yesterday. The poise he showed on that pass to Fan and in the end zone, and then the other two when the one to Bond, they extend the play. They were coming after him. They missed it. He had guys on his coming after him. Looked like a vet. Needed his flowers, man. Stefanski needed to give him his flowers. The other thing, bigger takeaway, we don't need a ton of offense to win games with this defense. We just need offense, which we haven't had with Dylan Gabriel. God, the opportunities we have passed with playing him ahead of Shador. And when everybody knew it. And this is why Barry has every right to go to Haslam and say, listen, this guy has no clue. And so we need to eliminate the clueless. Every single thing that has happened so far this season has just made Stefanski look worse and worse and worse. From Flacco going to Cincinnati to Ball. First of all, picking Dylan Gabriel in the third round when nobody in their right mind would have ever picked Dylan Gabriel in the third round. Passing on another piece you could have had on the offense. Secondly, the whole Flacco thing. Flacco looking like trash when he was here trying to run this nonsense offense, and then going to Cincinnati and throwing for 400 yards a game. Looks ridiculous. And now Shador, in just 6 quarters, has not only, I mean, he has done more for the offense in just 6 quarters than Dylan Gabriel did. In the yak stat, he averaged 10 yards a throw, more than doubled, over 10 yards a throw, more than doubled Dylan Gabriel's passes. But then gives him all the day off and says, I got to think about it. No, 100%. Shador Sanders is our quarterback. And the other thing about the defense is remember, we talked about this the other day. It's not just Miles, man. Malik Collins is going to be a Pro Bowler, folks. And then I like the mixing of Mason Graham with Mike Hall. Mike Hall looked good yesterday. I mean, it's good to see that. There's Isaiah McGuire. Remember, we didn't even have Alex Wright out there. We're missing a key cog. So now we need to do this to the offensive line. So going for next year, we got options, man. Now with Shador at quarterback, you don't have to waste a pick unless you want to get a backup. But you don't need to do it. Don't need to do it. Don't need to do it. And with the cap space that we have, there are going to be free agents who want to come here. And they're not going to rip us off like all these other people do. They're not going to come and they're not going to demand the most and then come here and do nothing. There are people who are going to want to come and play here, play with Shador 100%. So the cap space you have is going to lead to better free agents. The draft picks you have, going to revamp that offense. Get Shador the weapons he needs, the offensive line he needs. Let's go. So the storylines, and don't forget, saying Fran has to play tonight. So we get him on a short week. Storyline, how will they handle the short week and then having to travel to us? So we've got a little extra time for preparation to get ready for the 49ers. I don't think their wide receiver crew is what it used to be. They fought with Ayuk, and now Ayuk is out. And Debo gone. They got Pearsall. They got Juwan Jennings. But Pearsall's kind of taken over out there. But we'll see. Brock Purdy's back. But our defense is elite. So you never really have to worry so much about a team's offense. We just always had to worry about our offense because we didn't have any. But now we do. So San Francisco, very beatable because their defense is not good. So we 100% are set up to win this game against the Niners. Also, the Judkins injury, we'll have to monitor that, although Sampson filled in very admirably. I thought that was well, but hopefully, that's not a lingering thing that lingers into this game. I'm wondering, one storyline is when the reporters can get a hold of him, are they going to question Stefanski about his idiotic decisions down the stretch? I'd ask about the conservative play calling in the second half when you had a chance to really go for the jugular and we didn't. And then we're punting from the 30-yard line. I love it. People will be like, yeah, we punted from the 30-yard line. They're like, yeah, a lot of teams punt. Lots of teams punt from the 30-yard line. What do you mean? No, I said, no. We were on the other team's 30-yard line, and then we punted. And they're like, oh, that's right. That's Cleveland. Kevin Stefanski's coaching that team. Okay, what was I thinking? Yeah. All right, that makes more sense then if it's a Kevin Stefanski kicking from the other team's 30-yard line. Every week we do something that has never been done before in football, including draft an undersized left-handed quarterback who was on nobody's radar and then try to turn him into our starting quarterback when everybody knew he wasn't even going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. But I digress. And then the last thing is this. Can the defense do what they did to Vegas? Maybe not. I mean, this is going to be a better offense, but this defense is playing on such a level. And with Shador, and they know that Shador can generate points, you see the difference, man. The motors were running, man. The motors were running, and they were running for the whole game. That was the first complete game the defense pitched this season. And wait, what was different yesterday? Oh, Shador. That's right. I don't understand how Stefanski didn't see this, man. I just don't get it. I told you when we went to training camp, when Noah and I were at training camp, we watched it. We're like, Dylan Gabriel's not it. And we're like, Flacco's flinging it. Shador, 10 million times better than Dylan Gabriel. Like, you could see it in training camp. Kevin Stefanski's the only one who couldn't see it. Unflipping believable. But those are some of the storylines heading into the game with the Niners, the 49ers. We could beat them. We could definitely beat them. What's unbeatable are the viewer comments. Got some extra ones in there because everybody, boy, oh boy, we did the instant reaction show. Sorry, got out late, man. We had an issue with the recording. We had to, but anyway, it all worked out. I appreciate it. Xavier starts as a handle, ends as a password. Xavier-NK2PY. Talking about Shador. He did this with only 3 to 4 days of first team reps. Xavier, I'll do you one better. They had to travel to the West Coast. It was more like 2 days. Trust me. By the time you factor in the travel and all that stuff, so it was closer. It was way closer to 3 days than it was 4 days. And by the way, the Browns got Chip Kelly fired too. Their offensive coordinator. So the Raiders, I mean, Pete Carroll's. He might make it through the rest of this year, and I don't know. By the time you see this, he may already be gone, but he'll be gone. There's no way. They're done with that. No, they'll get him. They'll be in the market for a quarterback. So there's that. Anthony-M1. Is this handle to password day? Anthony-M1X6Q says the entire team played with more energy, threw in some strong arms, and another level of hope. Threw in a thumbs up. 100%. That's what was critical yesterday, was just what it did to all playing Shador and the confidence, especially getting those two touchdowns early on when the defense was like, oh my God, thank God. The offense actually scored some touchdowns. We set them up and they actually delivered. Not like when we are first and goal from the 6 and we can't even get a yard. Huge, huge difference in every facet. And I said it yesterday and I'll say it again today, even the special teams. So Ventrone, but again, it goes back to Shador and the energy that was just, it's contagious, man. It was contagious. And the level of hope. Like, even when it's third down and 9, third down and 12, we convert. We can convert now. It's not a lost cause. Third and 9, third and 10, third and 11. You got a chance. Yeah, you have an actual chance to convert these, and we did. We did yesterday. Defense knows it. Special teams knows it. Everybody knows it. Completely different team with Shador on the field. Jaguar 89. Franchise quarterbacks make other players better, and that's exactly what I said yesterday. It's like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan made everybody else around him better. Shador yesterday made everybody else around him better. The offensive line became an afterthought yesterday. The defense played its first full complete game because they weren't on the field for 90% of the time and weren't worn out by the middle of the third quarter. That's what happens when you got an offense that knows what the hell they're doing. You got a quarterback. When you got a franchise quarterback, that's what I said that. Yeah, I said it before. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have anything. Once you have that quarterback, everything else gets better. Everybody else plays better. That's how it goes. And that is exactly what happened yesterday. Dollar Bills with a Z. Dollar Bills. 89.78. And this is what we teased at the top. With 6 games left, keeping Sanders in for the rest of the season could be the move. It is the move. Dollar. Come on, Dollar. The defense is elite, and the offense has a real shot at winning games outright, maybe even securing a wild card spot. It's all possible when the final cards are dealt. And he's not wrong, and that's what's so frustrating about this. We're screwing around with Dylan Gabriel, losing games that we should have won. The Jets, Cincinnati, Minnesota. What else? One of the Baltimore games, there's 4. I'm already up to 4. For the love of God. Pittsburgh? Oh, my God. They're trash. kept telling you they were trash, and they're trash. Oh, my God. We could be, what, 8-3? Easy 8-3. And I would have cashed all my six-plus wins. I mean, we still could get there. We should get there with Shedeur quarterbacking. Bootstrap, 529. I just like when you cash early, right? I would rather just have cashed them out already. Bootstrap, 529. We need to study the Stefanski locker room speech. Barely mentioned his rookie quarterback. It was only in passing in relation to someone else he mentioned Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, I saw it too there, Bootstrap. I'm right there with you. It's not his guy, man. It's Barry's guy. When you see the hug in the locker room with Barry, there is no more Baranski. These two are not attached at the hip anymore, man. This is it's bad. That's a storyline to follow the rest of the season. Is Barry going to get rid of Stefanski? Could Barry go to Haslam and be like, look, man, I'm telling you, he wanted the little lefty guy. And I wanted the guy who's actually knows what the hell he's doing. Brandon Ware, 78-73. We would have had a lot more wins. I agree. We don't play Gabriel. If we put Sanders on the track we put Gabriel on, can you imagine where we would be? I just don't understand. You get paid millions to know this stuff as the coach of the Browns, but you don't. Give me $500,000 and I'll help you out. I'm happy to help. What a waste. Waste of a freaking season. I mean, yeah, we can win out. Let's win out and get a wild card, maybe. Let's do it. The AFC is still kind of crazy. But, man, the Rams looked good last night. That NFC is, sheesh. The Rams look like world beaters right now. And the Eagles are good. So, I know they blew that, but, Speaking of, Camille Yelverton. I had to figure it out. Camille Yelverton, 171, says, congrats from Birdstown. Philly is proud of you guys. Thank you, Camille. Sorry about what happened with Dallas. But we appreciate it. Thank you so much for noticing. Sorry we took Shedeur from you. We're not. Sorry. But I appreciate it, Camille. That's very nice of you to chime in. Machiavelli 8905 simply says, we coming. Yeah, that's how everybody feels now. Do you ever see those videos walking into work today because the Browns won? Oh my gosh. Browns fans everywhere are walking into work today like this, man. Like, let's go. We got this figured out. That's what everybody's doing now. We've got a quarterback. We finally have our franchise quarterback. Telling you, man, he wins Super Bowl statues. Like I choose statues, multiple. It was great to see Dion there yesterday. The whole thing, the way the whole thing came together. Like I would have scripted it that way, just left out the interception. That's it. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't have Judy dancing around like a knucklehead on the sideline and fumbling, and then Tillman stopping his route. Like you're a professional, man. You got to run the route. He cost himself a touchdown. So that wouldn't have been in the script. But everything else, pretty much, yeah, in. And I wouldn't let Judkins get hurt. Judkins would have came out very healthy. But, hey, man, got to build on it now. And we will end with @Big Brother Mo. Remember, Victory Monday. So we'll end on a Victory Mo Day. Big Brother Mo, who says simply, and I could not agree anymore. He simply says, 12 is him. Capital H-I-M. And I couldn't agree more. Holy mackerel. Victory Monday. And not only is it Victory Monday, it is the first day in Cleveland with a franchise quarterback. And I'm going to say it since Bernie Kosar. This is the first day in Cleveland that we have had since Bernie Kosar that we have a franchise quarterback. How about that? How does that make you feel, Cleveland Browns fans? I'll make you feel really good. This just solves so many problems for the Browns. All right, enjoy the Victory Monday. Watch the Niners tonight. Let's pick them apart. and we'll figure out ways to beat them. I already know how we're going to beat them. We're just better. How about that? Let's start there. And then we'll be back tomorrow with more. Thanks so much. All right. Go Browns. Victory Monday. We'll see you next time.